slope first, just looking at graphs. So looking at number 1, if we want to find the slope of line AB, I would start at A and figure out where I go to B. Remember, we always want to do our rise, which is either up or down, before we do our run, which is right or left. And here, to get to B, I would have to go up 1, 2, and then I would have to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went up 2 and to the right 5. So how would I write that? Very good. 2 over 5. Okay? Let's look at the slope of the line XC. So I'm going to start with S, and I'm going to have to go, do I go to the right first or down first? Down. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that right? Yeah.
Can you go the other way and go up?
Yeah. Yes. When we go down 6, it makes the negative 6 over 5. Had you started at Y and gone up 6 and left 5, the 5 would be negative, so you would still end up with the same answer. So this would be negative 6 over 5. I always start with my left point and move to my right point. Okay, so in number 3, we're looking at line ST. S is on the left, so I start with that one. To get to T, I'm going to have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So up 4, and I have to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 over 4 is technically what? 1. Very good. Any questions so far for slope? Okay, let's look at MN. So M is on the left, so that's where I'm going to start. To get to N, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4. And then I'm going to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did y'all get 7? Okay, so how would I write that as my slope? Negative 4 over 7. Very good. Okay, let's look at 5. Now 5, if I start, is there 1 on the left? No, they're right on top of each other. So I don't go right or left at all. I would just go up. So my right and left is 0. And I went up 2. So what happens when 0 is in the denominator? Very good. It's undefined. Okay. What about if we have one that goes straight horizontally? It is 0. Very good. So this slope right here would be 0 because we didn't go up or down at all. So that's 0. We only went to the side 3. 0 over 3 is 0. Okay. Do we need more examples of how to count slope? All right. Yes. Okay, so when you did number 6, what did you get? So you went down 6 and left 2? You went up 6 and right 2. So 6 over 2, yes, you would have to reduce this. So what would it give us? 3. Good question. Okay, so let's look at the back. All right, so on the back it actually tells us parallel slopes, our parallel lines have perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals. Okay, so we're going to talk about what opposite reciprocal means. So in this first one, we have the slope is 2/3, and they want us to find one. Do you remember what the symbol is right here? Parallel. So a slope that's parallel to this. So what would a slope that is parallel to 2/3 look like? 2/3. Okay. What about a slope that is parallel to -5/4? -5/4. Okay, is that hard? They're always the same. So a slope that's parallel to 1/7 is 1/7. Perfect. Now, let's talk about perpendicular. So it is the opposite reciprocal. Very good. So it is the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 7/8? 8/7. And its opposite, this is talking about the sign. So this should be what? Negative. Very good. So don't forget you have to have both. So for 15, if we're looking at -4/9, what would it actually be? Positive 9/4. Okay. And 16, what would that one look like? -5/1, or you can just put -5. Either one. Okay. Now, a lot of people struggle with this one. What is the reciprocal of 2? 1/2. Okay, good. Very good. 1/2. And then we keep it positive because it was already negative. Okay. Most people will put just a positive 2 because they're thinking just the opposite and not the reciprocal. Okay, so for 18, 19, 20, and 21, they want us to find each of the slopes. Okay, so I'm going to use my highlighter to keep these straight. The first one we're looking at is W and X. So W and X are these two. So what should I do to these points before I start? Label them. Okay, then we'll find the slopes. So we're going to do X1 and Y1 because that one comes first. Then we label this one X2 and Y2 because it came second. Okay, so we're plugging into this formula. So Y2 minus Y1 would be 5 minus a -2. What is minus a -2? Plus. So we put 5 plus 2 over X2 minus X1, so 4 minus 6. So 5 plus 2 is 7. 4 minus 6 is -2. So there's my slope. Okay, let's try X and Y. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to highlight them so I can see which ones I'm talking about. I'm going to, again, label these. This one came first, so it's X1, Y1, X2, and Y2. So I'm going to plug into this formula, Y2 minus Y1. So I do 3 minus 5 over -7 minus 4. So 3 minus 5 is -2. And -7 minus 4 is -11. Do we leave it like that? No, why not? There's 2 negatives, so those reduce or cancel out, and we're left with 2/11. Okay, let's try one more of these just to make sure we got it. So the next one is YZ. So I'm going to come over here and highlight Y and Z. Again, I want to label so I can keep them straight. So this was the first one I was given, so it's going to be X1, Y1, X2, and Y2. So I'm doing Y2 minus Y1, so -1 minus over negative 8 minus the negative 7, so that would be plus 7. So negative 1 minus 3 is a negative 4, and negative 8 plus 7 is a negative 1. So what would that be? Just a positive 4. Very good. Okay, so if we can find slopes, then we're going to be able to do this next part. Okay, so it tells me using slopes, we're going to use the slopes to determine whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So let's look at 21 first. So we want to look at line AB. So I'm going to highlight A and B. And then we're going to look at line CD. So I'm going to highlight C and D together so I can keep them straight. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and label X1, Y1, X2, and Y2 here. So we're going to plug into the formula Y2 minus Y1. So AB would be negative 2 minus 1 over X2 minus X1, so 3 minus 3. So that gives me a negative 3 over 0. What does that mean? Very good. Okay, so AB is undefined. And let's look at CD. So CD, I'm going to label again X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So CD is going to equal 3 minus 3 over 4 minus a negative 2, so 4 plus 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. 4 plus 2 is 6. And what is 0 over 6? 0. Okay, so we're trying to tell, is this parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Okay, is it parallel? No, because 0 and undefined aren't the same. Okay, I heard neither. They are perpendicular. Okay, what you need to know is that 0 is the opposite of undefined. Okay, 0 can't be positive or negative, right? So it doesn't matter what the sign is there. These are actually opposites, so this would be perpendicular. Or you can write per. Okay? So I need you to memorize that so you don't get confused. All right, let's try another one of these. So this one we're looking at JK and MN. So I'm going to go over here and highlight JK and then MN. So I can keep them straight. So JK, we're going to go ahead and label X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Every time you find your slope, make sure that you're labeling which one you're finding. So up here I did AB and CD. Here I'm going to do JK so that I know that's the slope I'm looking at. I'm going to do Y2 minus Y1, 1 minus 2, over X2 minus X1, 4 minus 3. Okay, so that would give me a negative 1 over 1, right? Mm-hmm. Which equals negative 1. Okay. Then I'm going to label my M and my N. So I have X1, Y1, X2, Y2. I'm going to put M, N equals, and then we're going to do Y2 minus Y1. So negative 5 minus a negative 4 is actually negative 5 plus 4 over negative 1 minus a negative 2, which is negative 1 plus 2. What is a negative 5 plus 4? Negative 1. And negative 1 plus 1 is 1. So I get negative 1. So are these parallel, perpendicular, or neither? They're parallel. Okay, now, ones like 23 are tricky because most of you, a lot of people don't like to highlight, and so they'll be like, okay, LP, QW. Does it ask me about LP and QW? No, it asks me about L, Q, and PW. So that's why it's really important to either highlight or go ahead and label your points. Now I'm going to label my points. We have X1 and Y1 here because they came first, and then Q would be X2 and Y2. So I'm going to label this LQ equals 1 minus 4 over 3 minus a negative 4, which is 3 plus 4. Okay? So 1 minus 4 is a negative 3, and 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay? Now let's label P and W. So this is X1, Y1. This would be X2 and Y2. Okay? So I'm going to label this PW equals, and we're going to do negative 1 minus a negative 3, which is negative 1 plus 3, over negative 5 minus a negative 2, so negative 5 plus 2. Are y'all checking me, making sure I'm doing this right? I hope so. All right, so negative 1 plus 3 gives us a positive 2, and negative 5 plus 2 gives us. So are these parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Neither, because they're not the same, and they're not the negative reciprocal. Okay, do we need more examples of finding clips? Okay.